Hey guys, it's Matsimus here. So this video is going to be backdated a little bit because it's from the weekend just gone. Currently right now it is Friday and I am on my vacation. Now my vacation has really not got off to a great start. So let's just start off from the beginning of the entire weekend, or at least for the beginning of it. We left from our hometown here down in Alberta and up to our location where we were going to spend some time with the family for Thanksgiving weekend up at the West Edmonton Mall, which is a fantastic shopping mall, has everything under one roof like a theme park, water park, so it was going to be a fantastic family weekend away. And we head off from our home location, started driving up. Everything was going smooth as whistle until we got about halfway up, and unfortunately the weather just turned disgusting. Now this time of year it's expected, it's October, so clearly in Canada, especially in Western Canada here, it starts getting snowy, starts getting cold, and it's expected. But unfortunately with the snow and the cold, people forget that it is snowy and cold, and therefore it's icy on the roads and such, and their driving technique just goes out the window for driving conditions in the winter. Safe to say there was a lot of accidents coming up along the way, and the travelling speed was slow. We were going around about 60 k's an hour at some points. It was brutally slow and it just took us forever. And obviously I have my little girl, and she did so good behaving herself on the way up. It was really, really nice to see. And my beautiful wife and my father-in-law helped look after her fantastically. So it was really nice to have that support along this long journey, because it isn't a short journey. It's like a 4 to 5 hour journey up there, which for some is obviously going to be short, but for me, I just don't like long drives. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, we get about halfway up and the weather's just disgusting. So many different accidents, like literally semi-trucks rolled over into the ditches, people smashing into barriers. I mean, even myself, I was coming like fishtailing a little bit at the end, doing the old wiggly on the steering wheel, so it was getting a little risky at some point. So it was slow going up there, so it took us a lot longer than we expected. So whatever, not too bad. So getting into my town, into the town where we're going, the destination in Edmonton there, going on the highway speed limit is about 110 kilometers an hour. I normally do about 110, 120 roughly between there, and I came off the highway heading towards, we were just about at our hotel. It was so close, within about 2 kilometers. I took the slip road off, and the slip road speed limit was 50 kilometers an hour. Now in Canada, 50 kilometers an hour speed limits are normally reserved for areas of very built up areas, sort of close to playgrounds, schools and such, and for residential purposes, right? Not an off-ramp from a 110 kilometer highway. Okay, so you come off the highway and it turns into a 50. Now, most people, and let's be honest, we sometimes speed now and then, okay? And in this particular instance, I took this slip road at about 60, 70 Ks, okay? Even then, I slowed down really good. Most people do like 100 still through those slip roads onto, back onto under roads that go into the city itself. I was doing like 60, 70. And as soon as I came under the underpass, all of a sudden, I see a little guy with a black outfit and a gun in his hand. And my wife instantly said, uh-oh, and I said, I know what's gonna happen. And he's over to the side, oh, fantastic. So I pull into the side, and the very happy policeman at the time, who was British, may I add that he was British, so the irony continues, okay? He was British. He gave me a $189 fine for traveling at 73 k's an hour over the limit of 50 k's an hour off the highway. And here's the kicker to this. 200 meters after getting away from that check stop from when they were doing the photo radar, because there's about 5 cops there, so it's a perfect trap point. Okay, they know that people are going to be speeding on that 50 slip road. 200 meters after that point, guess what the speed limit changes to? 60 kilometers an hour. And on that slip road, there is no residential, there's nothing there, it's just grass, but it's 50. And then you take the first corner away from that area, and it's 60, and guess what's there? Residential everywhere. It was absolutely ridiculous. I was so pissed. So anyway, water under the bridge, I thought whatever, I kind of had a bit of a laugh at it, British cop giving me a ticket, what's our luck that it would happen on 50, blah, 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 blah. So eventually we get into our hotel, and we open the door to our room all tired and, kind of just wanted to settle in for the evening, and it is freezing cold in the room. And I mean like cold. So we walk in, we open the door, and we check the thermostat. It was like 10, 12 degrees. Now outside it's like -1. So it's not very nice outside at all. And to be honest, in Canadian standards, that's kind of like a summer for most Canadians. But really, in grand retrospect, it is quite cold still. So coming into a room that's supposed to be heated and it's like 10 or 9, whatever it was horrible. So obviously we immediately call the reception. Now it's coming on like, I think it was coming on like 6 or 7 o'clock at night. And we're like, we're tired. My daughter should be in bed we're pretty soon. She's normally in bed by about 6:30 p.m., sometimes 7. And it was coming up to that point, and we hadn't even got it ready for bed. Like, we just didn't have the time from traveling and the slowdown of the journey up and the speed ticket and blah blah blah. So we're like, you need to get this unit fixed. Like, it's freezing in here. I got to get my little girl to sleep. So the guy comes up. He's really friendly, really nice guy, and he's shining his little gun at the vents on the ceiling. He's like, oh yeah, it is cold. So 20 minutes later, he's still trying to figure out the thermostat. I said, look, buddy, it's broken. You're not going to fix it by twiddling with the thermostat. It's done. Like, we need to go somewhere else now. We need to figure something else out. So I was getting pretty impatient at this point. My little girl's getting really upset. I march down to reception. I say, look, dude, this isn't working out for me. We need to fix this right now. Like, I need another room or something. Now, the configuration of the room we have is we have 2 rooms connected. They're kind of like a family room. So we have 3 rooms in total kind of linked between doors, between walls, so that we can have my niece and nephews and such and my other family members able to hang out in the same sort of living space so we can spend the weekend together, correct? So once they figured out that they don't have any rooms to replace us with, we were in a predicament. So they said, well, we can try and fix it tonight. I said, well, I got to get my daughter to sleep. Like, this is not a good time for this at all. So I said, I'll tell you what, one of the rooms is still being heated with the correct temperature and the machine is working to heat it up. The heater's working. So I'm going to put my little girl to sleep right now, and you're going to get us 2 more rooms to put the rest of my family members in that can stay warm for the night, and we'll figure it out in the morning. I said, if you can try and fix one of the rooms nearby, like, if you can fix the room that's next door to my daughter without making too much noise by tonight, then we'll move back in and we'll be okay. But they couldn't. Like, that was about 20 minutes ago. That's about 9 o'clock at night right now, and I am the one having to not enjoy the rest of my evening and my weekend because I've got to keep an eye on my daughter in the other room, and everybody else is going out, hanging out, which is going to be expected anyway. Obviously, someone's got to look out for my daughter, but I'm going to stay here to keep an eye on her the most because I don't want to be leaving the rest of my family members to freeze their asses off in this room. So what's going to have to happen later when they all come back from the rest of their evening, the rest of my family enjoying themselves, I'm going to have to crawl quietly and silently with my wife into the other room with my daughter without waking her up in a warm room. So that's my weekend so far for Thanksgiving, and this is supposed to be my time when I relax and take it easy and blah blah blah, and my first night here and first day here, let's just write it off completely. The entire day has just been a write-off and just brutally awful. So just thought I'd throw that out there because I'm just bored in my room on my own and ranting. So yeah, just not happy really at all. I'm hoping that this will get fixed tomorrow. I am going to be asking for one heck of a refund. But here's the good point. They've made a screw up, so I'm hopefully going to see that this screw up's going to pay off for my ticket. We'll see, I guess. Maybe I'll kind of cancel it out a little bit. My screw up for speeding at a 50 off an off-ramp. But their screw up for the hotel room, so maybe they'll cancel each other out and come to a neutral day for Saturday. Who knows? I'm going to find out tomorrow morning. We'll try and see if we can get a refund from the company and maybe even an upgrade of some sort to make up for this annoyance that we've had. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed your weekend. If you are Canadian, then you probably had a nice Thanksgiving weekend. I hope you did. As I said before, this video is going to be backdated, so hello from the past. It's Friday today. So thank you so much for watching today, guys. Leave some comments. It's just a kind of a rant video to keep me entertained as I'm in this room. I hope you enjoyed the couple of videos that I should have had scheduled this weekend, both Wargame and Wargame Red Dragon and Combat Mission Shock Force, my second attempt at the campaign there at the airfield, so check it out if you haven't.